Hello, and welcome to RIME Entertainment Showcase with your hosts, Rita and Mel.
Hi everyone, and welcome to RIME Entertainment Showcase.
Fireworks are going off outside.
Fireworks are going off. That means
it's RIME Entertainment Showcase.
Exactly, yeah. They're celebrating us. Woo! Well, actually, it's November, so fireworks naturally go off, and also we hear that you all have a new president, everyone in the United States.
Yeah.
For us in Europe, same old. COVID
lockdown. Yeah, lockdown.
COVID lockdown. Anyway, this month is that your lockdown impression? Anyway, so this week, we are speaking to J.Worm. So J.Worm is a rapper and MC who's releasing a new EP which will be out soon, and a long-time friend of RIME Entertainment. Again, nearly 10 years we've been.
It was in the magazine.
Yeah, it was in the magazine, for those of you who read the magazine. But yeah, so it's such an honour to speak to him again and for him to be a guest on this week's show.
And guess what? What? More inspiration.
Oh, of course. But that's usual now, isn't it? Yeah. Everyone's inspired. Anyway, we're not going to keep talking any further.
Watch the interview.
See you soon.
Bye.
Hi everyone, and welcome to RIME Entertainment Showcase. Today our special guest is J.Worm, who is a rap artist and MC. Welcome to RIME Entertainment Showcase, J.Worm.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Glad to be here.
Excellent.
So tell us about your journey growing up, and when did you start rapping?
Oh, okay. Well, I grew up in Yuma, Arizona, in the United States. It's a small city in Arizona, Southwest, really close to the border of Mexico. We're about 3 hours from Phoenix and 3 hours from San Diego, so nice little in between. Growing up, I was always really into music. Not just hip hop, just all kind of types of music, a reggae, a rock. And then, later on, alternative rock, the grunge era, all that stuff.
Yeah.
But I was really, really drawn into hip hop at an early age. I'd say about 5 years old, because my uncle, who is about 11 years older than me, was listening to Beastie Boys, Run DMC, Eric B. and Rakim, like all the early mid 80s hip hop. Like where it was kind of the golden era, where it started getting introduced to everybody, and just it stuck with me all the way through elementary school, junior high school, and then obviously after turning into an adult and get into it. But yeah, I was always attracted to it, just the culture, the clothes, just everything about it was awesome to me.
Yeah. Was there any particular influence that kind of triggered you to maybe start writing your own rap material, or was that something that came along a little bit later?
I'd say I was a late bloomer compared to most of my peers. A lot of my friends were doing it in high school, sophomore, junior year in high school. And I was just kind of a spectator at that time, I didn't get started till I was 22 years old, I believe. So I think it was 2004 or 2005-ish is when I got started by freestyling. I was kind of pushed into a freestyle circle, cypher circle. And just from there, it went from freestyling to all of a sudden I started writing lyrics, to a beat. Sometimes even not even to a beat, just kind of writing to make up my own little flow, I guess you could say.
Amazing. Yeah, very cool.
When you're writing lyrics, what inspires you, or is it just like anything at the time that comes in?
Well, back then it was mostly just trying to rhyme words because I just started. So I didn't really have like a concept to how to write. My best friend actually got me into it. Plan B. He's was probably one of the most phenomenal freestyles I ever heard in my life, and he's the one that actually pushed me into my first cypher circle. And what I was trying to say is I didn't really have I guess you could say a style yet. I was still kind of finding myself as far as writing, and I just would write rhymes. Didn't really have any concept to it. Just here's 17, 18 bars, just rhyming words.
Yeah.
But they didn't come till later on. I guess say about probably a year after I started freestyling is when I started kind of getting into the whole. Okay, it's got to be a concept. There's got to have some structure to it.
Yeah.
And my inspiration back then was just rhyming. Now I'd say pretty much everyday living. I tend to write about more personal things or personal, I guess you could say things that have happened in my life before, or more on the realistic side. Also, it could be just me being creative and making up a story. Like that song I wrote, How It Is,
How it is, yeah.
That was just something I came up with just because I thought it would be a cool story.
And it is brilliant, yeah.
Thank you, I appreciate it. I actually found the email you sent me years back of the, I guess it was synopsis that you guys wrote. Yeah, oh man, I was reading it and I was like, man, this would have been a great short film.
We'll need to talk later about this because there's a few things mulling over in my head at the moment.
Oh,
for a while it has been, but I wanna make basic. We'll talk after this interview. Yeah. Okay. Don't worry, J.Worm. I've not forgotten. It's a dream.
Okay, awesome. Because it'd be a waste of a great script. That's all I'm saying. I'm just putting it out there.
Cool. Excellent. So coming back to music and from how it is. So you wrote your first song in 2005.
Correct.
Did you find that quite easy to do, considering the focus was trying to rhyme first and then put some meaning? How did that go?
It was, not gonna lie, it wasn't that easy. I mean, it didn't come as natural to me as most people, I guess, like my peers. Like I said, there's other guys I was hanging out with have been doing it for years, so it was just more like riding a bike. Like they got on and just started writing. Me, it was more. I had to practice a lot. Definitely had to practice. And once I my thing is, excuse me, my thing is, I always have trouble to this day, I have trouble writing the first line. The first line is always, all right, how are we going to start this? How is it going to go?
Yeah.
First line. Everything in between, pretty simple. The ending also is trouble. Like, okay, you started with a bang. You got your body. How are you going to end it? It's got to be good. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And that was how it was before, and even till now, it's that's my struggles is beginning and end.
Yeah, I think that's a common thing. I don't think you're alone there. Even for me when I write, and I'm sure it's for you as well. It is one of those things like, how do we begin? Like, how do we start this thing? Yeah. We've got the idea. We know what certain things you want to happen in there, but where do you start and where do you end? It's common. Yeah. Definitely feel you there.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So obviously you mentioned how writing lyrics has changed, and more at the beginning it was more about the rhyming side of things. How I'm just like, obviously I've never written rap, I've done poetry but how important is the rhyming still in with the story? How do you combine that, or is rhyming not as important now?
I'd say it's still pretty important because I like to be consistent as far as having my rhymes hit the snare on the song along to the beat, I guess, you know what I mean? But it's definitely more, I think it's a little more challenging because I'm trying to tell a story but still have a rhyming word that it's a pattern. I think it's still pretty important to rhyme as far as the writing content.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say, yeah, definitely. I think, yeah, like you said, trying to move with that beat and still get, because it's a rhythm, isn't it? It's not
Yeah, you
necessarily.
find, exactly.
Yeah.
You have to find the cadence that you're looking for, depending on the beat, the BPMs, the beats per minute. You know, you have to figure out 1, 2, 3, 4, or if it's slower, 1, 2, 3, 4 type of counting. You know.
Yeah, yeah.
That just definitely depends on the beat.
Yeah, definitely. So you're currently doing a lot of um, solo EPs, etc., and obviously in collab with other producers. So moving back to 2005, you were in a group called Boombox Typical, and that was for quite a while. I think what, 8 years roughly.
Rough.
Tell us about how did that come about? What was it like to be a part of a group?
Well, we kind of started just kind of randomly, honestly, because the people that were in my group was my cousin. He had just got out of the army, moved back to Yuma. He was already freestyling in the army.
Wow.
And then my best friend Matt, Plan B, he had been doing it since high school too. And we all hung out together prior to being a group. So we were constantly hanging out, and they would always freestyle. They'd always freestyle, and I'd mess around with it. And like I told you before, I got pushed into a lot of circles and had to freestyle myself. And one day they were just like, "Hey, why don't we just start a group? I mean, we're all doing the same thing. We're mucking around and partying. Younger days when you're early 20s, you're partying, you're drinking, you're hanging out. It's a house party or whatever have you." And they were like, "Why don't we just start a group and start writing songs?" And that's kind of how it started, just hanging out, chilling, BSing, and then went from there. We started writing songs and recording them.
Yeah.
And before you know it, I think we did an open mic the first time, and it was just, I was nervous because I had never performed in front of anybody. Yeah. These guys were pros at it already. So we did an open mic, and then from there we started doing a bunch of shows around town. And it was a great time for me in my life because I had my group to back me, and I had their back, and the camaraderie. And doing solo stuff I like it, but at the same time I kind of hate it because I don't have that that backing to catch me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I definitely learned a lot in those 8 years, 9 years. A lot of things happened. Like I've mentioned previously, my best friend had passed away, Plan B. Yeah. So that was a rough time. He passed away in 2008. So from 2008 to 2013, it was kind of weird doing shows without him.
Yeah.
It felt weird writing songs without him. So it didn't feel like we were whole, like a whole group, because we actually had 4 MCs and a DJ in my group. It was me, myself, Stick Up Kids, my cousin, Plan B, and we had another 4th member, MC, Grease Monkey, and a DJ Sayal. So we had a legit crew. It was a pretty close unit. We all knew each other for a long time, and it was there was a lot of ups and downs. You know what I mean? I mean, I learned a lot in those years as far as dealing with personal things.
Excellent. Yeah. Cool.
And I guess when you're in a group, you can also bounce ideas off each other as well. So I guess that helps in that sense.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's a huge thing too, as far as vibing off each other, being able to throw ideas back and forth to each other. When I'm by myself, it's like, all right, what are you gonna write about?
Yeah.
They throw ideas too. You're just sitting there looking in the mirror, like, okay, dude, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, I think we've been in touch with that for a few times. Excellent.
So you're currently working on a new EP. Tell us about this.
Well, it's going to be a 7-track EP. I'm doing with a buddy, a close friend of mine here who lives in Yuma also. He's a MC and a producer. His name is J. Master Ortiz. He's probably about 7, 8 years younger than me, so he's kind of a younger dude. But he knows his stuff. He's really talented. He's a smart dude. He knows his this history of hip hop. So he's not like one of these newer kids, or we're not going to get into that. But,
Who are they?
yeah, we're doing 7 tracks. I have they're all written. I've only recorded 2 of them. I've kind of been not, I don't want to say lazy, but kind of playing it safe with the whole COVID thing. We've gotten a lot more cases here in my city, so we're trying to keep it safe. So I haven't really recorded as much as I wanted to, but we'll get back to it as soon as it starts chilling out with the whole COVID thing. But yeah, the album is, or not, it's not really an album, it's EP, I'm sorry. I'm excited about it. It's a lot of different topics that I'm touching on. Some personal things I always tend to get into personal writings. Topics. Talking about dealing with my anxiety, my depression, dealing with the, today's society, things like that. Today's music, the way it sounds, just touching on that too. Different topics, but they all come together somehow, and they, the EP.
It
That
sounds
sounds like it's going to be a really good EP.
Yeah, it sounds like it's almost like what people need to hear. Yeah, because you're touching on topics that is so important right now.
So relevant.
Yeah.
I try to do it with every project I put out. I try to stay current and relevant to the times as far as what's going on in the world, or what's going on in my life, or whatever's going on just in general.
That sounds good. So I'm just gonna move on to you, of course. Well, I say recently, it's because the years have gone by so fast. But you're a family man and you're making music. How are you finding this balance? And do you take some of that inspiration for some of your work as well?
Oh, definitely. When it comes to writing, my family is a big part of my inspiration. If it weren't for them, I honestly wouldn't be here, because I wasn't going down a great path, back in the day. So, for them to be in my life, to have a wife and 2 beautiful children, it's a blessing. It really is. And I know it sounds cliche, because most people are like, oh yeah, my kids are the wife, you're a blessing. No, I genuinely mean that when I say it. It's definitely, they've been great, and I'm so glad they're in my life, and they're definitely part of who I am and what I write. They inspire me. And it's hard I can't lie, it's hard to balance. I work 50 hours plus sometimes a week, depending on my my workload. I work for the Army, so we're doing different kind of testing. So it depends on my schedule. I might be working 60 hours a week, one week 50, the next week, but typically it's 40. But still, working 40 hours a week, coming home to your family, trying to keep up with the family, and then music. It's a juggling act for sure. It's worth it. It's worth it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's really inspirational that, because that's your thing and you're still able to keep that going. And of course, COVID to one side, we're all going through that lull period. If we feel like, oh, I just can't be bothered today, that's just normal. We're human. But the fact that you're keeping that going alongside your job and balancing family, kudos to you. That's great.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Awesome.
It's not easy, but someone's
it can't be. Do you find though that doing your music actually keeps you going in terms of working the long hours and trying to balance everything? That the inspiration behind obviously the writing and everything, it gives you it gives you that buzz of keeping going. So this is the passion that I've got, and just gets you through each day.
Absolutely. Because to me, music it's always been a natural high to me. It's always kept me balanced as well in life. It's kind of like my own personal psychologist, I guess you could say. Where I can write down my feelings and not feel embarrassed about them. You know what I mean? And be able to put it out there to people. So yeah, it's definitely it helps with everything in life. I think it's just it just feels good. I don't do drugs, so it's definitely a natural high, and it makes you feel I don't know. It's hard to explain. It's really hard to explain, to put into words, but it just makes you feel something good inside.
Yeah,
definitely. Yeah, I think it's almost like that therapy that everyone needs. You know, we've all got our interests and hobbies. For yourself, making music gives you that. It's a feeling rather than I can't put words to it. Euphoric. Yeah.
Euphoric, therapeutic. You know. It's good for the soul.
Definitely. Yeah. Absolutely. That's exactly that.
Awesome. So, what would you say has been the highlight of your music career to date?
Well, I'd say it's a two-way tie. The first thing would be I don't know if you guys ever heard of the MC Master Ace. He's really big in the States. He's pretty big in Europe too. He started out in the '80s with a group called the Juice Crew. They're pretty elite rappers back in the day. But he's been doing music ever since the '80s. But probably one of my biggest influences as far as my writing style was him. And I got to actually open up for him a few years ago and meet him and talk to him after my set, and him telling me that he dug my set was just insane. Like my head was like, it was. I was up 9 times 10. Like it was insane. Tell me that, you know, the guy I looked up to ever since I was, you know, a 7-year-old, that you know, that was a good set, man. Good music. I like it. I dig your beats. I dig your lyrics, and it was just
so good.
It's just real life. Real life. But it was definitely one of my biggest what's the word I'm looking for? I guess achievements.
Achievements. Yeah.
But yeah, that was one of them. And the second one would probably be the album I put out in 2013. It was called the Euro Sessions, and it featured nothing but producers from Europe. So all the producers weren't even from America; they're from Europe. I never met any of the guys. They had sent me beats, and we did a whole project to it. And being able to have that on major platforms like iTunes and Spotify and Google Music, and you know, all these major platforms that you can download music from. It was just amazing to see the sales that I was getting.
Yeah.
Not even in America, like it was over in Europe. And people were buying Germany, all over London, just all over. It's insane. It was insane to me because Apple sends you a sales report, and it tells you what if they downloaded the whole album or just a single song. But it'll show you what city that what it was purchased from. And it was insane to see that people from Europe were buying my music. People I've never met before. It's completely insane. I mean, to this day, I'm like, what the heck? I'm just some dude from Yuma. Like, I'm from Arizona. And there's people buying my music in Europe. I mean, it's insane.
That's brilliant, though. It just shows. Yeah, music can travel so far, and you'd always think, and I think that's the same even with us, that first of all it's like, okay, maybe we should just do things locally, but then you start to hit these other places in the world, different time zones even, but it can always build that connection, which is, I think, is brilliant. And definitely a proud moment there.
Touch someone's soul.
Yeah, exactly.
It's still surprising me I mean, how many years later? I started in 2005, and 15 years later, still, it's sometimes I don't even believe it's real. You know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
For that to happen, I never pictured that when I first started. You know, to go from just writing rhymes to, oh crap, I got people buying my music all over the world. It's just insane. It's a crazy time to be alive right now.
Definitely.
Yeah. And I think more people are going to hear about you, J.Worm, through this interview as well. So there's going to be more.
There's more sales coming your way. Be ready for that iTunes itinerary of all the countries covered sales. Yeah. Excellent. So for anyone who is looking to pursue a career as a rapper, or they want to go into MC or even start as freestyle, what would be the 3 tips that you would offer to them?
Don't start. give up and move on.
I was just gonna be like, yeah, okay, just nod.
There it is. Went from being super positive to negative. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, it's a tough venture to get into as far as making it a career. I mean, I wouldn't say I really had a career. It was more of a love for it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Never really made a lot of money off of it. I made a few bucks here and there, but I would tell them to, excuse me, I tell them to prepare themselves mentally. There's going to be some letdown. There's going to be some tough times. You know, you're not gonna be someone's cup of tea. You know what I mean? As far as the sound of your music, but if you build yourself up mentally, prepare yourself, tell yourself, you know, got to get up, keep going, keep moving on. I would tell them to just prepare for that kind of situations. Practice, because the practice is very important if you want to stay consistent, if you want to stay on top of your game, if you want to continue to progress, you got to practice, and that's what I always did was practice. I always practice, and I mean, the third thing I tell them was have fun with it. Definitely have fun, because at the end of the day, it's supposed to be fun. That's the way it started. I mean, the history of hip hop was fun. It was freaking street block parties. You know, it was fun. Have fun with it. Don't take it too serious. You know, don't get caught up in the craziness. Just have fun with it. Yeah. And that's what I'm doing. I'm going back to having fun with it. That's why I'm back to writing, because I was like, you know what? I need to have fun again. I need to start having fun with writing my music.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, because you've got to enjoy it, you know, otherwise the passion dies. So
yeah, and you don't want to start dreading going to the studio or dreading.
Oh, that was me.
Because the point.
Yeah, exactly. That was me years ago. I woke up and it was just like, it's not even enjoyable anymore. Becoming a headache. You know, at the time, it was becoming a headache because it felt like it was work. It's not supposed to be work. You know, you're supposed to be able to have a little bit of enjoyment out of it, not just feel like it's a constant grind or a headache. You know what I mean? And that's how I felt. That's why I quit for such a long time. I was completely done with it. I didn't have any passion for it. I wasn't inspired by anything, and it wasn't fun anymore.
Yeah. Well, we're so glad that you've now got back into it. You've reassessed, and now you're having fun with it, because that is the beauty, I think, especially being in the creative industry, music, film, art, whatever it is. You have to have fun with it. Creativity is about having fun and being happy. You know, it's therapy whilst you're releasing, and that's basically what it's there for. So yeah, excellent.
And I think it was good that you took that break.
Yeah.
While you weren't enjoying it, and then came into it with a fresh perspective where you can actually.
You don't want to put out half. Excuse my French, but half-assed music. You know what I mean? You don't put out any kind of lame, just forced music or any kind of art. It doesn't matter what kind of art it is. It could be anything. It could be painting. It could be
exactly.
You don't want to put out that stuff that's not even up to par. You know?
Yeah. No, it's excellent. So this is the moment to plug yourself, J.Worm. So where can our viewers go to find out more about you and your upcoming EP?
Well, there's a website called Bandcamp.com.
Okay.
You know, like this one time at Bandcamp type of thing.
Yeah.
But not quite. No, it's my website for that is it's my link. It's jworm.bandcamp.com. Okay. I'll be I'm gonna upload the project once it's completed. I'll put it up there. It's gonna be free. I'm not gonna charge anybody for my music. It's I have a ton of free music on that link. So feel free to go and check it out and download for free. But it'll be a free EP. It's only 7 songs, so I don't feel like I need to charge anybody for it. Maybe later on I'll change it to, you know, $5 or something. I don't know. But I just want to get it out there. Really, it's important to me to get it out to people that want to hear it. And also Facebook. Just type in search J.Worm Rockwell, and my stupid face will pop up in the profile picture, and there you go. I have 2 pages actually. I have a music page, and then I have my personal, a personal public page, I guess you could say. You can request me. I take requests from anybody that's willing to listen to my music. So feel free. But those are the 2 major, I guess, platforms you could say that you can find my stuff on.
Perfect. Excellent.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, J.Worm. It's
insightful.
really insightful. I'm definitely inspired. Are you inspired?
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
Start
the viewers.
rapping.
Stick with poetry. Stick with poetry first, and then we'll see where we go. Maybe we'll submit. Yeah, exactly. Maybe we'll submit some of our poetry to you, and you can see what you can do with it.
That'd be awesome. I'd love to read some of that.
Amazing.
Oh, definitely, I'll send it.
But yeah, thank you again for being a guest on the show.
Yeah,
It's been brilliant. Thanks again.
Thank you guys. I appreciate the opportunity again, and let's keep it up, huh? Let's keep doing the RIME Entertainment. The interviews are really good.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So we said it as we always do. It was
inspirational, empowering,
and
we had fun.
And I'm gonna just start rapping.
Oh my gosh.
My name is Rita. And
no, stop. Don't embarrass yourself. Please don't embarrass me. Anyway,
I'll stick to poetry.
Yeah, let's stick to poetry. Like we said,
but it was inspiring.
It was definitely inspiring, and J.Worm has given us so many tips, including not to start. No, only kidding.
He tells us about the reality of it.
Exactly, and I think that's important.
Yeah,
and the fact, again, the discussion about having fun in what you do. There's nothing worse in treating something that you enjoy so much as a job. It's not a job. It's your creativity. It's your passion. So enjoy it.
You should love it.
Definitely. It is hard at times, but, again, think about your whys. Yeah, coach.
And your passion is going to get you through those hard times.
Definitely. But so make sure you head over to Bandcamp. Bandcamp? Oh gosh, no, now. Anyway, head over to jworm.bandcamp.com. Make sure you stay on alert for his new EP, which will be uploaded there. Make sure you check out Facebook or head over to Instagram, follow, send a friend request, whatever, to J.Worm. He's a really, really lovely person who, again, it's all about the music. So go and share that passion.
Yeah, definitely. And, he deserves our support. And if, just check his music out.
Absolutely.
And just listen to the lyrics and listen to the meaning behind all his
there's
songs.
Some really, really, really good stuff in there. Again, from ages ago, listening to his stuff, he's an excellent freestyler, rapper, whatever you kids are calling it these days. But anyway, we're gonna let you head over to social media, go and follow him. And whilst you're following him, follow us. So you can get us on at RIME Entertainment Official or at sisters_in_rhyme. And how do we spell rhyme? RIME. And also we're on Twitter as well at RIME_ent. So, ent, yes. You got to pronounce the T. Anyway, she's really weird. Okay, wish me luck, guys. After we shut this down, I'm gonna hang out with her for the rest of the evening. We're in lockdown. Anyway, take care, guys, and we'll see you again this month.
All he wants is one chance to get back up on his feet. A stable job, his own bed, instead of sleeping on the street. He used to be a big baller, businessman, CEO. No money to fall back on, planted no seed to grow. Doomsday hit his bank account when it reached 0. Couldn't believe his own eyes, he used to be the hero. No more money flashing, cause the economy is crashing. His business and colleagues took a pretty rough lashing. People losing jobs left and right, employees are slashing. Hard-working taxpayers and our government are clashing. He was blindsided by this unexpected crisis. In these difficult times, he tries his best to stay righteous. Lost in the gutter with no job, feeling lifeless. Never imagined his picture-perfect life would end up like this. See, this life is a trip, and that's how it is. Each tragedy may vary from mine, yours to his. So we learn how to deal with events we can't predict. Art imitating life from these words I depict. This life is a trip, and that's how it is. Each tragedy may vary from mine, yours to his. So we learn how to deal with events we can't predict. Art imitating life from these words I depict. A young man in the army being all he could be, signed up at 18 to serve his great country.